So what are the differences between Houbigant's Fougere Royale, this right here, with Houbigant's Cologne Intense, this right here? I'm going to tell you all about it coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time on this channel and you love watching fragrance reviews and still haven't subscribed to this channel, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So I'm a big fan of Fougere Royale. I think you've seen some videos about Fougere Royale and other Fougere fragrances on this channel. And I'm on my second bottle and I've been using up quite a bit because I just love wearing this. I just love the fact that it's a really, really lovely, easy to wear, classy, gentlemanly Fougere fragrance. Recently I picked up Cologne Intense from the house, and a lot of people think that it's kind of like a flanker of one over the other, but I don't really think it's really a flanker or anything to do with this fragrance, even though this is an aromatic fragrance. Although I guess you can sort of call it like a flanker or something, because there are some notes in here that are in here as well, but to me they're completely different fragrances. So this Fougere Royale was originally launched in the late 1800s but brought back in 2010, and the perfumer behind the recreation is Rodrigo Flores-Roux. So here you have notes of bergamot, chamomile, lavender, green notes at the top. Heart, you have carnation, geranium, cinnamon, rose, lilac. In the base you have patchouli, oakmoss, amber, tonka bean, and clary sage. So it is a typical Fougere, and the very first Fougere was Fougere Royale, but in its original form back in the late 1800s, created by Paul Parquet, I think. So if you're a lover of that lavender, tonka bean, geranium, oakmoss combo, this is definitely one not to be missed. It's the original, and it's a great release. There are lots of other Fougere fragrances out there, but this one probably is the most popular because it's got the name Fougere Royale. I mean, it's very easy to wear Fougere. You gotta love that lavender, of course, and you gotta love that herbal, spicy herbal kind of notes. It's very aromatic. And it's, of course, it's also barbershoppy. So the deal was they were trying to recreate the smell of ferns that ferns never really had. So what they came up with was this fragrance in its original version back in the late 1800s. Even though ferns don't have a smell, they thought if ferns had a smell, this is what it would smell like, Fougere Royale. So this is that fragrance, and it's something, if you like masculine, gentlemanly, classy fragrances, you've got to try it. I mean, it's really a great release. Fougere Royale by Houbigant. So the other fragrance that came up 5 years after Fougere Royale is Cologne Intense. So Cologne Intense is an aromatic citrus fragrance, according to Fragrantica. It's created by Luca Maffei, not the same perfumer as this fragrance, which is Rodrigo Flores-Roux. And again, it's EDP concentration. And the bottles, like I said, is very similar. And you'd think that these are like a flanker, or one came before the other and they're kind of the same fragrance, which I guess they could be, but to me they don't smell alike at all. Even though this has lavender in the notes, there's everything else that's completely different with it. So that's why I think they're not really a flanker of one another, and it's a completely new scent. But that's just me. I mean, it could be that you think it might be a flanker of one of the others. But for notes here, we have bergamot, Sicilian lemon, Petitgrain, and Neroli at the top. In the heart, you have lavender, tarragon, pink pepper, and Indian jasmine. In the base, you have Maffei and Incense. So again, we have just the lavender, which is in Houbigant's Fougere Royale, featured here in Cologne Intense, and everything else is completely new. Although you have the bergamot as well, which to me is always in all fragrances, and so on. And this one has a pretty dominant Maffei note, and it gives it a very green vibe. Even though this comes off green as well, but this one's ultra green, like overly green. But that Maffei gives it like this ultra greenness, even though, according to Fragrantica, this has green notes in it. This one comes off more green, and it doesn't look green, as you can see the juice color. This one looks greener than this. There's just something about this probably, I think it's a combo of the Petitgrain, which is the green leaves of the citruses, and of course the Tarragon and also the Maffei kind of combined together to give it a completely green smell. And they smell completely different from night and day. Fougere Royale smells very Fougere barbershop-like. This one does not. This one is more, you can definitely pick up the incense and the Maffei note along with some of the citruses, but it's a complete new scent to me. It's also very, very spicy. The Maffei has this very, very spicy green kind of a smell. So it's definitely not the same fragrance. And some folks have been asking me what's the difference between Cologne Intense and Fougere Royale. So finally I decided to put this video together for you to find out. It's going to be a matter of taste. If you like a Fougere, you might like this one for sure. But if you want to go outside of the Fougere and just go to a citrus aromatic or spicy citrus aromatic, try the Cologne Intense. And it's just a matter of taste. You might like this one over the other. You might say this one's more your style, and then this one you would not. I personally think this is probably more successful than this one, even though I like both. They're completely different and I enjoy them for different occasions or different settings. But I like them equally pretty much. This one just a little more because I know this one so much. But I think they're pretty much equally loved by me, and I would pick them for specific occasions and things like that to wear. But guys, have you sampled these two fragrances? Do you know this one? Do you know this one? You know, this is Cologne Intense, this is Fougere Royale. Which do you like better? Let me know. Put some comments down. Let's get a conversation started. But you can pick these up at discounters for pretty inexpensively if you're on a budget. Like Neiman Marcus and places like that will have these for suggested retail. They're around $180, I think, for each bottle, 100 ml EDP concentration. But at the discounters, you saw my haul video recently where I featured this, and I picked this one for about $55, somewhere around there. I had initially bought a tester of this from Fragrance Net, and it was about 40 something. But they, when I got my big order, they had written me just prior and said that they're not sending this because they ran out. So I would have preferred to have gotten a tester, even though the previous one I had bought of Fougere Royale came in a gift set. I don't really have a box for this. But anyway, I have the box now, and I'll mention it again. Houbigant has actually changed the color of the box of their fragrance. It's no longer silver, it's black. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen a post about that, which is cool because I like the black. The silver is just too shiny for me, and when you photograph silver photos, lots of reflections appear. So flat black boxes to me come off better, at least. And here we have some more silver as well. So some of these are a little too difficult to photograph, and you'll have reflections and things like that. But that's just me. I'm sure you guys don't know. All you want to find out is what the differences are between the fragrances. But that's it. That's what the differences are between these fragrances. But let me know if you've sampled them and which one do you prefer over the other. And if you haven't sampled this one, thinking it might be something very similar, do test it out. Do try it, because I don't think they're very close at all. In fact, at all similar. But you might find it similar because of that lavender and bergamot in here. That's also in here. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know if you have these and if you like them, or if you've been curious. Put some comments down. Let's get a conversation started. Also, please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.